Hi guys, I'm Anita and I'm back with another video. Today it's time for another Monday Reads. It's time for me to talk a little bit about my reading over the past week. And did I meet my goals? Did I not meet my goals? And all of that. In total over last week I read a total of 1,191 pages. And that averages to 170 pages per day. I set my goals to read 1,128 pages with an average of 161 pages per day. So I met my page count number. I also finished 3 books that I'm going to be talking about in just a bit. But I didn't, there was one of the books that I finished that I didn't plan on finishing, and then there was another book that I planned on finishing that I didn't. So yeah, but I guess it's okay because I didn't meet my official page count and I don't have very much left of the other one that I wanted to finish as well. And the first thing that I finished over last week was Temptation Ridge by Robyn Carr. This is book 6 in the Virgin River series. Like these series always follows multiple of the characters. Usually there's a newer romance, but then you also get to know a little bit about the previous romances you've met or couples you've met over the previous books, and this is no different. I enjoyed this one a little more than the others. I get the previous one because I think it I enjoyed the focus from the characters. I thought it was a pretty well told story overall, and I didn't mind the conflicts that were in this book. Sometimes they tend to be a little bit overboard and everything happens at once and it's very dramatic. But obviously there was also this person who has a one-night stand with one guy and the condom breaks their act. So he says that they should probably get something for that so that they make sure they don't get pregnant unexpectedly. And then she says, oh, it's okay, I'm on the pill, which I guess is fine. But you also know that pills aren't 100%. So I knew immediately when she said that. So obviously couple of weeks later she finds she's pregnant, and it's just like so easy to tell, and it would just be nice with something that wasn't so obvious sometimes, but I guess yeah. Otherwise I enjoyed the majority of this book, and there were some things that happened in this one that really touched my heart. So yeah, so partly I enjoyed this one, and there was a few issues but they were pretty minor overall, and so I ended up giving it 4 out of 5 stars. The next one I also finished was Murder on Mulberry Bend by Victoria Thompson. This is the 5th book in the Gaslight mystery series, and I have really adored this series so far. This is set in late 1800 New York, and follows Detective Frank Malloy and widower Sarah Brand, who's also a midwife. So this one, again, Frank is trying his hardest not to involve Sarah, but as is usual now, she obviously becomes part of it, but this time in a quite different manner than previously, because Frank Malloy actually believes her to be dead at a few seconds because the victim is wearing clothes that was Sarah, so he believes that Sarah was dead, and he was really scared and just had to make sure that she wasn't, and in that way she's sort of captured into this case, and it was quite a fun. This was a really interesting one as well. I definitely enjoyed guessing along. It was a lot of fun, and I keep enjoying the relationship that is slowly building between Frank and Sarah. So with every book there seems to be a little step towards something more, something bigger, I guess, and I pretty much enjoyed that. And the last and final thing that I also finished this past week was Leah on the Offbeat by Becky Albertally. This is book 2 in the Simon versus Homo sapiens agenda series. I don't know, I know that's not what it's called. It's called something else. Something Creek. But yeah, this one follows Leah, who is a side character from Simon versus Homo sapiens agenda. Leah is a closet bisexual, and so she is in love with a friend from the group, but she can't say, and there's some issues, and yeah, I didn't love this one. I didn't care as much for this one as I hoped I would. I thought in places Leah did some things that I didn't really appreciate. In other places though, I really enjoyed her. And there was definitely a couple of moments with the bisexual rep where I felt like it was a nice expression of that, like how she was dealing with her situation. But she was also a little bit judgmental towards other people, and that was something I didn't really care much for. But yeah, I ended up giving this 3.5 stars. I'm happy I read it, but it was not my favorite. So those are the books that I finished last week. I also made progress in a lot of books, and I'm going to talk about those right now. The first one that I read a lot from last week was Puppy War by R.F. Kuang. This is a BookTube SFF nominee, and that's why I'm working so hard on it. I'm still not 100% enjoying this. It's a bit cliche in a lot of places, even though it has East Asian sort of mythology. It just still pretty cliche in general fantasy standards, I guess. And I'm not really enjoying it, and I don't like the main character and how power thirsty she is. I think she's a little too over the top in places, and it's just not something that really captures my attention, and I'm really sad about that. But I have about 134 pages left, which equals around 2.5 hours, so I'll definitely finish it this week. Yeah, but I just didn't have a lot of time to listen this weekend, and that's why I didn't finish it. So I put it on my list to read this week, obviously. Another book that I've made progress in over the week was Foundryside by Robert Jackson Bennett. This is definitely getting more and more interesting. I'm on page 172. I was a little short of where I wanted to be. I wanted to be here, and I got to here. So about 25 pages short of where my goals, and that's okay, I guess. I thought I could read it yesterday when I came home from my Constance confirmation, but I was so tired I couldn't concentrate on reading anything. But I definitely am enjoying this one more and more. I think the magic system is really, really interesting. I think the fact that it's built on sort of writing and language and stuff like that, it makes it for a pretty interesting magic system. I think that the main character, Sancha, is a bit cliche, and some of them, but I there's something about it that really, really makes me want to pick it up, and so that is a really good thing. But yeah, I'm on page 172 of this right now, and so I have 332 pages left to read on this, and I'm hoping to actually finish it this week. I've put it on my Bingoathon TBR for the fantasy category because I would really like to finish it this week and not have to think about it more over this month. So that is a priority. So we'll see how that ends up going. The last and final thing that I've also worked on over the past week that I did not finish is Vengeful by V.E. Schwab. I started this. This was not part of my plans, but I started this and I'm on page 53 out of 575 pages. I think it's a way too long book already. I feel like so far I'm not super enjoying it. I have some issues with some things that happens in this one already, and I'm not sure how to feel about it, but it could be that it would be resolved over the book. But it's definitely not my favorite so far. Hopefully it will get better as the book progresses, but I'm gonna put it down for the next week because it doesn't really fit with my Bingoathon. So I'll try and get to this the last week of May. So now we're gonna get into the books that I want to try and finish this week, start and finish this week. And yeah, the first one is Haunting of Tram Carr 15 by P.T. Clark. I actually already finished it, so I know that I could finish that. I listened to that today at work, and it's only 1.5 hours in my speed, so it was pretty easy to get through for me. I'm not gonna talk about it today. I'm gonna wait and talk about it until next week, but just so you know that that is part of my TBR for the week. Another book that's on my TBR is An Offer from a Gentleman by Julia Quinn. This is book 3 in the Bridgerton series, and this is also from my Bingoathon TBR. And it's like a Cinderella retelling, and I wasn't expecting that at all, and I'm not sure I like that part of it. So I don't know if I'm gonna end up being a little bit bored or disappointed with the book overall, because I definitely think that she could easily have written a book about this character without having made it a retelling, and I'm a little sad about that. But yeah, I've listened to like 45 minutes to an hour of this book so far, and I'm enjoying it, but I'm not loving it. This is a book that I have on my list to start and finish this week. The last and final audio that I definitely have on my list to read and finish is Soul Music by Terry Pratchett. This is book 16 in the Discworld series, and this is book 3 in the Death series, and this is my 5-star prediction. Hopefully I'm right on that, and I can't wait to dig into this book. I'm really looking forward to getting back to it. Hopefully I'll finish Puppy War really soon so I can get started on this one. Yeah, but I'm definitely looking forward to reading it. I have quite ambitious reading plan this week, but I guess since it's a readathon, it's okay. The next one I definitely have on my TBR, and I'm gonna start it today, is Once and Future by Amy Rose Capetta and Cory McCarthy. It just arrived today, and it's part of the Bingoathon TBR because it is the group read for that readathon, and I so really wanted to get started and read this with everyone else. So this will be a priority this week for sure, and I hope I will finish it. It's 350 pages long, so I hope I'll really enjoy it because I do tend to enjoy Arthurian retellings. So hopefully I'll enjoy this one too, and yeah, let you know more about this next week, hopefully. Another book that I've actually started yesterday, so that should have been on my current reading. I don't know why I didn't put it on there. But that is Speak No Evil by Alisson Brennan. This is the first book in a series. It's a romantic suspense, and it follows a murder investigation of this young girl who is brutally murdered, and yeah. So far I've read 25 pages of that Kindle book, and I'm planning on trying to finish it this week because it's part of my TBR, but I don't know if I will in fact do that. But I put it down because I want to be ambitious this week, and hopefully I can manage it. A final book that I have put on my list is If I Have Time, because I have to hand it in 3 days, so that'll be on Thursday. And that is Skæbne Meon by Kenneth Anderson. This is a graphic novel because someone put a hold on this, so I can't renew it. So it's a graphic novel. It has a darker part and some really black parts, and it starts becoming a little bit brighter. And yeah, I might try and read this over the next coming nights and see if I can finish it. But yeah, don't know. I have to hand it in on Thursday, so I'll need to see if I will just hand this back and see if I can get it another time. We'll have to see. And that was the last and final thing that I put on. I won't put the page count for the graphic novel onto this one because I'm pretty sure I'm not going to get to it. But overall, with the other books, I have a total of 2,159 pages to read, and that will mean I need to read 308 pages per day. So I'm quite on the ambitious side, and hopefully I can manage it. And yeah, this was all I had for you today. Let me know in the comments down below what you have plans of reading over the next week. Are you planning on participating in the Bingoathon? Also let me know about that. And what did you read last week? Did you read anything exciting? And did you read any new favorite books or anything? I'd always like to know that. And if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video very soon. Goodbye!